environmental demands and how they impact on swallowing during mealtimes. This is Angela. Angela has a learning disability. She becomes overwhelmed when there is too many people in the room and too much noise. When this happens, her whole body becomes tense and she then stops chewing her food, and that has led to a lot of coughing and choking. The care team have ended up giving her purees because it's the only thing she can manage safely in this environment. They've tried prompting her to chew her food, but she found this too demanding and refused to eat and ended up losing quite a lot of weight. When we looked at her sensory needs and the impact of the environment, we noticed that on days when it was quiet, she wasn't having any problems with eating and drinking. So the team started to make some changes to the environment and then recorded their observations. When Angela ate alone, she always looked sad, even though the quiet room meant that she was more relaxed and could swallow safely. When we added one or two of her friends to the quiet room, she was still quite relaxed, but was smiling, and we interpreted that as her being a lot happier. And it also meant that she could carry on eating her regular foods. Meet Susan and Ben. They both attend the same day centre. She's been eating in a quiet room for quite some time because she gets too distracted by all of the busyness and she forgets that her food is in front of her. And by the time she notices, it's gone cold and then she doesn't want to eat it. The quiet room helped for quite some time, but now she needs quite a lot of prompting, and that is making her quite cross and it's affecting her well-being. The staff weren't sure what to do, so when Ben started, he also preferred to eat in a quiet room, so they put them together. The team noticed that Susan was starting to eat without the need to be prompted anymore. They thought it was probably because Susan was happy having a friend to talk to. But actually, there was something else going on. Susan's cognition was starting to change because of the dementia. She was finding it harder to remember what she was doing and noticing that she had food in front of her, so she always needed prompting. But Ben was sitting right opposite her, and every time she looked at him, she saw him eating, and that gave her her visual reminder to carry on eating her own food without the need to be verbally prompted. That also meant that her food wasn't going cold anymore and she was finishing her dinner, so she started putting on weight again. This is Zach. Zach absolutely loves to go out for food, and one of his favourites is Subway. So he tells his support worker he wants to go, and in the car on the way, he's telling them he's going to have a meatball sub. But when he gets there, he doesn't want it anymore, but he looks really grumpy. What could be going on for Zach? So it could be his sensory needs. Maybe the shop is too busy. Maybe the smells are too overstimulating for Zach. Maybe now that he's an adult, he feels that he wants to be independent and order his own food. But maybe he doesn't have the words. Maybe he's not thought about using other forms of communication, such as pointing. Maybe he's worried about waiting in a queue if there's lots of people in there. It's really important that we explore lots of these issues with the people that we work with and do some problem solving. Maybe Zach could have ordered his food online and then just gone in to collect it. Maybe he talks that through with his support workers and practices what he's going to say. Maybe his support worker encourages him to point to the foods that he wants.